Hello, my beautiful people. I'm gonna spray you down right off the bat with my essential oil blend here, which is becoming a staple of these videos. Bergamot, basil, cedar, frankincense, bay. Maybe some of those are significant for you. It's very cooling, it smells very delicious. I just want to take a deep breath with all of you right now before we start here. Okay. Hello. Welcome to the reading. If you don't know me, my name is Ryland. I do intuitive guidance. I'm an artist. I don't usually introduce myself like this, but I feel, okay, interesting. So I'm introducing myself to new people who are here. And I feel this is definitely relevant to this reading. I feel whoever I'm speaking to, you are getting ready to introduce yourselves as a whole new version of you. Maybe even to yourself. Maybe you're meant to introduce yourself to yourself, 111 on the timer. Okay, Spirit, help me with the signs. I'm just doing this from memory here, but I was just driving home and there were 3 signs that really stood out to me on this drive. The first was there was a license plate that said, "Oops, sorry." Then I saw a sign that said, "Don't stir the pot, smoke it." If you know, you know. And then I saw 2 swans right next to each other. It was like I think it was a statue or figurine of it. It was very realistic looking on the side of the road. And it was 2 swans or 2 geese, both significant, similar energy. So what I was getting from that is, okay, interesting. There are people here really coming out of people-pleasing mode. There are people here, it's like the old version of you was somebody who apologized a lot, 222 on the timer, in relationship. You were somebody who said, "Oops, sorry," a lot over things that honestly, a lot of the time, were not your fault. I'm getting that you were just so conscientious. You are so conscientious, not past tense. You are conscientious. You care a lot about people's feelings. You care a lot about people's emotions. You care a lot about, you're very gentle, very sensitive in life, is what I get. Empathetic. You feel things deeply. And so because of that, I feel that you've also taken on the responsibility of others, even when they were not your responsibility to take on. And I'll tell you this, with the "don't stir the pot, smoke it." At first, I kind of read that as like a drama thing, right? Like tea spilling, I'm Gemini, that kind of vibe, like the whole stir in the pot when it comes to like some kind of interpersonal drama. But then I thought about it more deeply. And when I thought about the essence of that saying, "Don't stir the pot, just smoke it." Listen, it was a message from Spirit, okay? What I got from that is it's like, don't waste time. Like, Spirit was saying, don't waste time stirring the pot, as in stirring like ideas around that you have in your head, or stirring around identities even, I just heard. Essentially, it's like if Spirit is giving you something, or if you have something in your life, or you have a vision, you have a path you want to walk forward on, don't waste time just stirring around in it or stewing in it or trying to make it perfect before you just go for it, kind of thing. Like, it's almost unnecessary, stirring the pot in anything. Like if you're stirring the pot for something that you're mixing, for example, if you're mixing up the pot when you're cooking, some things or baking, for example, there are some things that can be over stirred. If you stir it too much, it gets tough. It's not in its essence that it's supposed to be. You can understir something, but you can very much overstir something. And so I feel that with this collective, it's like Spirit's saying, maybe comes from the anxiety, maybe this comes from the fear that you had, right? Being a people pleaser, being hypervigilant. We talked about lizard energy recently, like being very sensitive and feeling a lot of pain because of that. And so it's like an anxiety, a perfectionism. Yes, a perfectionism about getting it right, stirring it all up, making sure it's just right before you execute, but getting stuck in the making sure it's just right because the execution comes with vulnerability. Confirmation verb here. For some of you, this is like, before this reading, for whatever reason, I subconsciously took my ring and my bracelets off and put them downstairs. And also, I was gonna do this reading in my room where I have my whole setup with all my cards, all my tools, everything that I usually would use in a reading. But my partner was home. Unexpectedly, I thought he was going out somewhere tonight, but he was home when I got home. And I was like, oh, you're here. Like, I guess I gotta go do this reading upstairs. And I unexpectedly had to leave behind all of my stuff, right? And for a minute, I was like, oh, is this message gonna be as good if I don't have all my stuff? But I grabbed my 3 basic tarot decks, I grabbed an incense, I grabbed my spray, and I just came up, and now we're here. And so I feel that's also part of this message, is Spirit wants you to really like strip down. Strip down. Whatever that means for you, listen. No judgment here. Spirit really wants you to like strip down the identity, like let down the guard, let down the need to do all the things, to perfect all the things, to do all the rituals, to have all the tools, to have all the perfect setup before you do something, or before you recognize yourself, before you see yourself. Because you already are you without all the things. You can deliver the message, I can deliver the message without all the things. I could sit here and talk without any of the tarot cards, but it's like, sometimes we get reliant and dependent on things, right? On certain identities that we've had maybe for a very long time, certain tools that we've used for a long time, or the idea that we need certain things, that other people have to do what they're doing. But Spirit's just essentially saying, like, go for it directly. This is still that Leo energy. As we're wrapping up Leo here, we're in the last few days of Leo season, the last week, I think. I feel like this is really the time to just strip it all back. Strip it down, baby. And let's see who we are as those swans. The swans, in their grace, in their serenity. They just exist. They're beautiful just as they are. They don't have to put it on. They just float on the water. And we see them in beauty. Saraswati, right? The goddess of creativity, represented by the swans. So let's get into the cards. Let's get into what Spirit wants us to know deeper about this. That could probably be the message in itself, honestly. Stripped down, say it like it is kind of message. It's very gentle, it's very beautiful, but it really comes with like a tenderness, because it involves letting go of something or sacrificing something we've held on to, or maybe just seeing it differently. It doesn't mean that we have to let go of those things, right? Like, I'm not going to let go of my ring and my bracelets and all my divination tools, and I'm not going to let go of, the way that Rylan shows up here. Oh, turtle. I'm not going to stop all of these things, right? But I feel Spirit's asking for like this moment of, okay, who are you when you strip it all down? Just a moment. Just that like humility moment, right? And also to show you, it's not just to humble you, to make you less than, it's also to show you, like, you are enough without all of it on the surface, Oh, hello. Okay, interesting. Okay, yeah. Got it. Right off the bat. I'm also feeling like a throat chakra clearing right now, big time. We're taking that? That's too much. We're not taking that. I'm setting a boundary. Octopus, okay? Octopus is all about boundaries. This is the underlying energy here. It's about creating boundaries, feeling overextended sometimes, just having your hands in a lot of things, but feeling like, you know, this can be wonderful and this can be beautiful in its higher form, but I often see the octopus as really needing to protect and maybe retreat, like remove our tentacles from things that are draining us, because the octopus is also super vulnerable. It's like very soft, it doesn't really have protection. So we have to create that for ourselves. So that was my boundary there. No, that's all the cards. We're gonna just focus here. We're gonna focus here on what's real, what really matters. The elk came out first here with the beaver. I saw those two, and then the earthworm was face down. So elk and beaver is immediately just like hardworking, masculine kind of energy, regardless of your gender. I get like very firm, very stable, very much like putting in the work kind of thing. Maybe very developed. Okay, yeah, and the elk can talk about a very strong, stable father figure, like very steady, very steadfast, like very stable in an identity, okay? But can have an overinflated ego sometimes. And when we talk about overinflated ego, it doesn't necessarily mean like somebody who's just obnoxiously in their ego. It can mean somebody who overinflated as in like it becomes a protection mechanism to the point that you forget the inner calling. You forget who you are under it, what we were just talking about. Especially with beaver here, like you can start working, or even just doing so much for other people, because the beaver talks about like karma yoga, like doing service for other people, selfless service and physical labor. So when you get into that energy really intensely, you can forget this under the surface, or you can try to hide this part of you, right? The earthworm and the octopus. The earthworm talks about being a beginner, being an amateur kind of, or just not being great at something, but being interested in something. It's like, it's just very, what's the word? I get spring energy, like springtime. Just it's that beginning. I feel some resistance from some of you for this. I just felt some resistance. Allowing yourself to be seen as like not this. Like allowing yourself to drop this and be seen as this. Allowing yourself to not take it so seriously, and allowing yourself to be softened, to be vulnerable, which is super interesting with this octopus, because that vulnerability also needs to be protected. But it's like, I feel like in this situation, the boundary and the vulnerability is around like, rather than using this whole like forward momentum, masculine, like do it all for everyone all the time, rather than like getting tied up and entangled in that being your identity, Spirit wants you to create the use this to protect this, okay? Like you can show up in this energy. This is you. You're steady, like this is a fatherly energy. This is a selfless energy, like protection, providing for community. Again, regardless of gender. But inside, it's like we're all beginners at something. We all have that like inner child, that, what is the word I'm trying to look for? Like inexperienced, I'm getting. Like there's that inexperience. There's a fear here, I feel like, of being incompetent or inexperienced at something. Maybe it's even spirituality. Maybe if you're coming across this video, I was introducing myself for the first time, right? Maybe there's somebody who's watching this who maybe you aren't as spiritual. Maybe you're just getting into opening your mind up to these things. It's like, it's that vibe of it's okay to be a beginner. It's okay to be just starting out kind of thing. Because the beginner's mind has some of the best insights. The beginner sees things that the masters and the experts sometimes overlook because it's just become second nature. It's become subconscious. Like, I remember when I first started my spiritual journey, for example, and there was just so much new information and so much new perspective that it was like, seeing things for the first time and investigating things for the first time when they're not known, it forces you to really be hands-on, and it forces you to really look at everything. Whereas when you've done it a bunch of times, when you've been through spiritual awakening, when you've had these moments, some things can become a little more like, oh yeah, that's normal. That's just like, so this can also be an energy of like, enjoy being a beginner, because you're never going to get that again. Enjoy stripping it all down, right? And enjoy this moment of opening, because it won't always be like this. And there's such beauty in that. Look at all the color underneath that rainbow. There's a full spectrum of experience, light, emotion with this octopus as well. Super interesting. The owl just came out underneath this, because I was walking down the stairs just before this reading, and there was a little owl stuffy looking right up at me on the stairs. So the owl talks about like spirituality, seeing into other realms, but also like abundance, treasure. This is a gift this time. This stripping away, this taking it down to the bare bones, and really just seeing yourself as spirit sees you, because you are spirit, you are one with spirit. This is what they'd like you to see. Why do I want to say more? It's super interesting. Tim Hortons. Just drinking a black decaf coffee. I take my coffee black. Listen, like again, just all these signs pointing to simplicity, like taking it down to what is the most simple form you can take it into, right? That's also part of alchemy. It's like taking something into its most simple essence and working with that. Like that's the lesson here, I feel. And letting yourself be vulnerable in that. And making that the boundary. Okay. Yeah, like slow down. Slow down. Knight of Swords reverse. He wants to charge into everything very quickly. He wants to charge into everything very headstrong, almost aggressively sometimes. That gives me very much this elk and this beaver. It's very like, it's a very masculine, headstrong energy. The antlers, right? Like guarding, protecting, attack. The sword, attack. Let yourself just King of Wands, reverse. So King of Wands reverse, he can be a little bit hasty, a little bit impulsive, like a little bit in his ego. This is super interesting. Yeah, Spirit's just really saying, like, you don't have to put this on. Or if you're in this energy, this is what's being addressed. Like, if you feel that, because I feel that. I definitely feel when I'm getting a little... The energy of, like, that masculine, fiery force is just... It's getting a little extreme to the point that I'm starting to lose myself in it. I'm always like, okay, let's just bring it back. We're good, like that's fine, that energy's fine. But let's remember, under it all, what's it all about? That's a good question to ask yourself. Under it all, what's it all about? What else, your spirit? What else do we need to get out here for this message? What wants to come out? Queen of Cups. This would be a beautiful energy to sink into right now within yourself. Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck here. Interesting. I really see her, this is like a mother-son. This is like a mother-son energy. Super, super interesting. Okay. So, confirmation birth is coming through. There's a mother-son something here. Maybe you're a mother and this is something you're trying to teach your son. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely getting that for some of you, because I was like, am I really talking to that many people who are in this energy? Maybe I am. But I also feel that if you're watching this far right now, you could be resonating with this as like, this is someone you know close to you. This is like a son or a younger, or even if not younger, maybe it's a friend. Like you embody, I feel like if you're watching this for someone else, like you embody this Queen of Cups, like emotional, intuitive, generous, but deeply understanding. And it's like you're wanting to explain this to a child who is just very hasty, you know, like in his masculine or her masculine. Yeah, so that could be for some of you. But then for a lot of you, I get that this is like more, okay, underlying all of this, like this is very clear. Like this is the underlying energy, this Knight of Wands. He has a lot of passion. He has a lot of fire in him. He wants to move forward. He wants to do all the things. But that's exactly what I was talking about, that King of Wands reverse. It's a little similar to this, where it's like, we see a lot of that in the world. Like if you had a father figure even who was very King of Wands reverse, who that's the way they led, was through, you know, you gotta be like, it's that kind of just, yeah, that insecure masculine. Interesting. Anyway, why am I getting caught on that? Why is that important? Listen, y'all, sometimes I try to like run away from energy in a reading because I think, but this, okay, some of you have father wounds here, definitely. Like being taught that to be masculine, if you're a man or a woman as well, to be masculine and to be a protector, to be a provider, means you must be so rigid and so on and so like stoic and so bulletproof and so like nothing can pass through you at any moment in time, and that to be in this energy is somehow weak, or is somehow just too soft. I heard a name, I'm not gonna say it, but being called names, like being called names that have the connotation that you're weak or that you're like girly or feminine, which, why is that an insult? So I'm seeing that like on all sides, this energy is super important right now. Queen of Cups, introspection. I feel a very Queen of Cups energy right now, even in this reading, the way I feel right now, an expression. It's very soft and intuitive and calming and nurturing. Okay, so you'll know what to do with that. Take from that what resonates. Let's move on. What else here Spirit wants to come through? Really interesting readings. I feel like these little insights are also, they're kind of coming up out of the water. It feels like, I just heard lily pads, the Hermit reverse, and the Hanged Man. Is there a resistance to going within? Is there a resistance to going within and looking at this part of yourself maybe? Maybe there's a resistance to seeing this in yourself. Because if you're watching this far, then it's probably resonating that something about this resonates or something about this intrigues you. Maybe there's a bit of a resistance or a scariness of what it means to go within and to look at this from this perspective, or to look upside down at what's going on. It could also mean that you don't feel like you have time to go within and to be by yourself enough to really like let this surrender to this experience happen. This is Virgo and Pisces energy though, the Hermit and the Hanged Man. Virgo reverse the Pisces. Maybe it's like Spirit's asking you to like, again, like let go of this intense need to have everything set, to have everything figured out, to have it all perfectionistically lined up. Let go of the perfectionism, some of the nitpickiness, and allow yourself to surrender and open up more to the unknown. Because this is where that perspective is going to come in. Like it's going to be revealed to you who you are in a deeper way. Okay, what else, Spirit? This is a super interesting energy, y'all. Like, I keep wanting to clear my voice. Knight of Cups, reverse. 8 of Cups. Queen of Cups, she's back. She's back. She does not want to leave you alone. If you're watching this, you may need to spend more time around feminine energy, spend more time around like mother figures, sisters, aunts, like somebody who embodies this for you. This intuitive, gentle, guiding nature, like learn from them. Speak with them. Be vulnerable with them, even if it feels scary. Or just try to like think about what makes them so special to you. What is it that actually makes them special to you? And really think about that and embody that. Because you have that too. If you recognize it in someone else, it means you have it too. A Knight of Cups here with 8 of Cups. Knight of Cups reverse, 8 of Cups. It's like, I feel like some of you are really needing to walk away from some kind of, I don't know why I just heard relationship, but the first thing I heard was some of you need to walk away from the old story. Like the old story, the whale came out earlier too. That one was significant. I put it away. I kind of wanted to stuff it down in the deck. Maybe this is something that you do. You stuff down some kind of story that's really difficult to deal with emotionally. These emotions, right? Knight of Cups is the masculine water, young water energy. So maybe like within your deeper emotions that relate to this elk, this beaver, this masculine thing going on, this persona, this who you are, there are like unresolved emotions around that. Maybe shame, maybe like fear about what it means to be who you are, about what it means to present yourself to the world, like the way that you stand in the world. And I feel Spirit really wants, like they really want you to be able to walk away from this, or to walk out of this, or to walk through this. Yeah, there's such a watery energy here, like to get in touch with the water element and to let yourself just feel held by that, feel held by the mother, the Queen of Cups. She's here for you. She wants to hold you. She wants to nurture you as you move through this transition with this earthworm. Like, let yourself see everything from a beginner's mindset. Like, let yourself go in with just unknown, like not knowing what's going to happen, right? Like, maybe there's a part of you that really wants to know what's going to happen if you go into your emotions, if you go into healing and opening that Pandora's box to let that out, right? Like the story, like there's traumatic things there, right? And there's things that scare us or that we don't want to feel. But the Great Mother, the Queen of Cups, she's here for you, and she wants you to walk through that with the trust in her, the knowing that it's all going to be okay, and that all of these emotions you go through, it's alchemy, it's transformation. Just as much as you're used to working in the external realm, like working hard, providing, doing all the things in the physical world that can be seen, that's conscious, like this emotional work, this deeper unconscious, subconscious work is just as valid. It's just as much a type of work and just as valid. There's such an energy in the air too right now of the feminine energy needing to be honored more, needing to be listened to more. Not only within each other, but within ourselves, like listening to your own feminine energy and what she's saying, what she needs. Your body, because the masculine is the mind, right? In so many ways, it wants to do all the things mentally. It thinks that things need to be a certain way, but if you're not listening to the body and what the body's telling you, what the emotions are telling you it needs, then you're denying your own like whole half of yourself, this feminine side. And then you'll also deny it in others when you deny it in yourself, which can be such a fear for people as you know, providing for you. It's almost like it's self-sabotaging in a way, because you want to provide for these other people. But it's like, if you're not looking at your own emotions, if you're not going within and taking care of yourself and your emotional nature, then by accident you might not be taking care of others' emotions and might not actually be providing for them what it is that they truly need deep down. And that can be a hard one for some people to swallow, because that's all they want, is to provide for others. But you have to provide for yourself first before you can do that in a lot of ways. Or at least be in touch with that part of yourself before you can provide it for others in many ways. 8 of Wands reverse, the High Priestess reverse, 7 of Cups reverse, and the Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles reverse. Okay. So again, slow down. I'm getting slow down, listen to your inner voice, and clear like the clutter. Clear the clutter that's going on. Clear the like, you might be faced with this feeling of being really consumed with emotion. If a lot of it's been suppressed, it could all come up in ways that feel overwhelming to you. But again, it's like your inner voice, the High Priestess in reverse especially, means there's a deep, deep inner voice that wants to be listened to. So that pause right there, I felt in my inner voice in that moment, stop talking. That feeling of space and of stillness is where the answers are going to come. It's where you're going to be able to hear yourself, your actual self, your deeper self, more clearly. When you slow down, give yourself the space and time to clear the clutter and listen. When you stop feeling this need, okay, yeah, now we have the King of Cups and the 10 of Wands coming, okay. When you stop feeling this need to keep moving forward in the material and the physical, just nonstop, and you let yourself listen. Let yourself follow your intuition. Let yourself be guided also by, I'm getting the Father now, like letting yourself be guided by the spiritual Father. You know? Seeing. Because the masculine energy, it sees. It's clear. It's a witness. Or the feminine energy is like the actual experience of what's happening, the experience of what's going on. The masculine is the witness. And these are this is the symbiosis, especially in the water element here that we're feeling into. So, yeah, Spirit really wants you to drop this burden you've been carrying of this self. 33 on the timer. Again, strip it down. Yeah, I'm seeing that image of going round and around the pot again, like stirring it anxiously, or just going around and around trying to stir something, or just make something perfect, like get all the parts perfectly, exactly the way they need to be. No, like just let it happen, like let it smoke. Smoke it, go for it, like go into the thing in the way that feels right. If that makes sense. I feel like I'm speaking in code now. Okay. Spirit, is there more? Any more tarot? I feel called to spray this again. This cooling mist. Inevitably, this is all coming together for you. Okay. I want to pull a closing message because I think we're at the end. I think we've said enough. Spirit was literally like, stop talking. Just stop. Turn the camera off. Oh, funny. Okay, Spirit, what's the closing message here for this beautiful, beautiful collective of people? I feel your heart. I really do. I feel your energy, and it's so strong. It's so sturdy. It's so steady. It's so admirable. And it's like, I want so badly to translate for you what I feel in my heart for you right now, which is such a compassion. And I want you to feel this too. Like, I want you to feel what it feels like to see yourself and to feel yourself and to know yourself deeply. It's the best feeling. And to recognize it in one another, to have that ability to reflect it to each other. Oh, it is literally just that, the je ne sais quoi, like the beauty of life. Okay, Spirit, what's the closing message? What do you really want? What do you really want? 27. Okay, interesting that arrow's pointing right at the X. I get from that, it's like X marks the spot, okay? Speaking about that sort of metaphor of like stirring the pot. Don't stir the pot, just smoke it. Like, that to me tells me, like, just go for it. Go right for where X marks the spot in this situation, whatever you're going through. And X marks the spot, I feel like it's, in this situation, it could just be like an emotion you're avoiding. Plain and simple. I feel that's very much what it is here. Like, it could be something, just an emotion you're avoiding. Oh, no, actually, no, just X marks the spot, like going straight to yourself, just going right to the center. Letting yourself just know that the center's there. You are X marks the spot. So come back to that. Like, come back to the realization of that. You're already here as you are. What you really want is yourself, an experience of yourself, to know thyself. And you'll want other things too. Your soul will reveal that for you within that space. But on the surface, like, what you really want is an experience of yourself, just to taste yourself, to know yourself, to feel yourself. And prosperity's sisters are happiness and joy. So if you've been seeking and striving to create prosperity for yourself, or material abundance for yourself, or material security for yourself, which I really get here, or provision for others, remember that the sisters, confirmation verb here, what comes with that, its sisters are happiness and joy. So are you feeling that as well? Because true prosperity comes with those feelings, the happiness, the joy. So make sure that if you're looking to create prosperity in your life, that's your compass. If you're feeling all those, the three sisters there, then you know you're in the right place. I love you so very much. This has been a beautiful reading. Thank you for letting me read for you. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.